To welcome you properly, may I please ask Lise Kingo to join us here. As all of you know, she's the CEO and Executive Director of the UN Global Compact. Take to the stage here.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, it's such a pleasure to see so many people in the room, and I would like to officially welcome you to the 73rd UN General Assembly here at the UN building in New York. There will be more than 400 side events going on alongside the official program. We will have thousands of people coming into the UN to debate the sustainable development goals and principal business from many different angles. So I think it's fair to say that we are really seeing a global movement sort of pulling together around the goals, and that is exactly what we need. So at the UN Global Compact, we have made it a little bit of a tradition to start the week by inviting all of you, participants of the UN Global Compact, to start your week with coming here for a breakfast event. And just to learn a little bit about what the week ahead holds for all of us. So welcome, and I hope you will enjoy the entire week with us. The Leaders Summit that we are organizing this year happens today at the UN building. We thought that we really wanted to be inside this house, not at a hotel somewhere in town, to really capture the spirit of what everything that the UN is about. So we start this morning with a quite amazing session on leadership. And in a moment, I will tell you why this session is maybe the most important during the entire day. We will also be discussing inequality and human rights with a large group of CEOs, the Deputy Secretary General, after this event. And then it will be about business and peace at the Private Sector Forum with the Secretary General and many other important people. And later in the afternoon, we will do a UN Global Compact in action, trying to show how all the dots are connecting between the goals. And throughout the entire day, you are the center of the attention. This is about all the companies being invited into the UN. And we look so much forward to really having a great day with you. And you know, we will end at MoMA with a couple of great receptions that I hope you will join as well. It's also a tradition when we get together on this morning of the GA week that we just give a status on how are we actually faring on the global goals after 3 years. We have taken the opportunity again this year to do a progress report that talks about how are Global Compact companies progressing, not only on the 10 principles, but also on the global goals. Please pick that up or take it from our website. The short story is, on the global goals, that we are seeing amazing awareness and enthusiasm around the goals. We know that 80% of Global Compact companies already have activities around the goals. We see really excellent progress on integrating the 10 principles in companies' work. But where we see big challenges is particularly in 2 areas. Climate change, where we are moving into a situation that might be irreversible, and it's a huge concern of the Secretary General that we have sort of managed to put ourselves into this situation. The other big challenge is inequalities. So when we are later today discussing peace, we are discussing human rights, we are discussing the young generation, women. It's all to address and accelerate what we see as the biggest gaps on the global goals at the moment. I hope we will be much wiser by the end of the day when we meet at the Global Compact in Action event in the afternoon. But for now, I want to share with you why we start with a session on leadership. By now, I think it's clear to most people that to make the global goals by 2030, we need a transformation in the society, and a transformation of how we work in businesses, in governments, everywhere. To create that kind of transformation, we need change agents. People that have the courage to go against the stream and make the changes nobody really want to hear about, but that have to be done. People that have the kind of leadership values that we need to drive the global goals. Principle business, democracy, speaking up, being concerned about other people, all the values that we see in two of the amazing personalities that we are celebrating at this year's annual general assessment. We are celebrating Nelson Mandela, an amazing change agent, a role model for all of us. And we are also honoring Kofi Annan, the late founder of the UN Global Compact, who is also an amazing role model for everything a leader driving the global goals should be. So these are two great leaders from the past, but we need to look at the leaders for the future. So every year, we appoint 10 new SDG pioneers who all have the kind of leadership that we and our local networks feel it takes to drive a responsible organization and to make the global goals a reality. I have these 10 people with us today, and you have to hear their stories in a moment, because each of their stories are absolutely amazing. Without leadership and real change agents, we will not make the goals. People with real courage. And that's why we wanted to start the day and opening the GA week with showing you a very amazing lineup of 10 new SDG pioneers that are embodying exactly what we are looking for. So with these words,